Hi, Armand here with your weekly forecast for the week of February 25th through March 3rd, 2019. That means, since we're changing months in the middle, that there will be a video for the month of March, and that'll be upcoming probably on Thursday of this week, maybe Wednesday, we'll have to see. Probably Thursday. You know what you can do is you can subscribe to this channel and you get the notices automatically so you don't even have to worry about checking back, but you can check back anyway and see what's happening. Who knows what could happen? And who does know what could happen this week? Because this is, I'll tell you the truth, after last week's slippery energy and the week before's charged energy, this week is maybe a little bit mellower. The lunar cycle is waning. However, Uranus is at the very last degree of Aries, and I feel that that's an important factor that's kind of coloring the entire week. And the moon, as it goes through the signs of Sagittarius, Capricorn, and won't quite get to Aquarius before March 3rd, as it goes through those signs, though, will be kind of sparking up the Uranian energy. I think particularly as we get into like that Thursday-Friday period where the Capricorn moon is going to square Uranus. That might be a really sort of a farewell from Uranus. So, and then, next week we're talking about Uranus going into Taurus. So the independent, maverick, gotta do my own thing energy is fairly strong this week. It starts certainly Tuesday, Wednesday, coming into Thursday, as we have the moon in Sagittarius. And I should point out, actually, that the moon is void, of course, virtually all day Monday. So, the moon void, of course, in Scorpio, it might be a sort of a slow start to the week. Most things that happen will have a sort of already decided kind of feel to them. Tuesday, Wednesday, and I would have to say, Tuesday and Wednesday, a much more upbeat, outgoing kind of energy. It is the last quarter moon, which is typically a time when we assess things, make decisions, and it's probably a better time to assess things and make decisions than it has been for the last couple of weeks. So, you can kind of look back over things and try to get things a little bit sorted, figure out what has been working, what hasn't been working, and then sort of decide where you're going to reinvest and divest your emotional and financial energies and any other energies that you have to invest and divest over the course of the next lunar cycle. So it has kind of a feel of taking a long view of things. The moon's in Sagittarius, after all, and it's also a kind of flexible, serendipitous type of energy too. If you just want to sort of go with the flow through midweek, actually, through midweek, that makes a lot of sense. Then Thursday, Friday, we're talking about the moon in Capricorn, and that's a much more serious energy, of course. There's a lot of connection there that involves getting involved with work, figuring out what needs to be done on a very practical level. The skies have really gone from being quite fiery and airy to being rather watery and earthy. So, the practicalities of things, following through on projects, and maybe it's a good week to wrap things up, clear things out, kind of bring things to a conclusion. That's pretty much the most you can make of this week, I think, or that was where you'll get the most bang for your buck, is when you try to bring things to a conclusion. And then as we get near the new moon, as we really get, deeper into the weekend, then I think that, again, it's take a long view of things, sort of see where things are for you. Probably not a great time to even make decisions at that point in time. You just sort of let it ride out a little bit. Now, relationships are pretty busy this week. On Monday, Venus goes over the south node of the moon in Capricorn. Then she moves into Aquarius, but before she does so let me just check over here, on March 1st, which is Friday, or actually, so you'll really be feeling this on Thursday, Venus squares Uranus. Now, what does all that mean? Interesting question. Basically, it comes down to the beginning part of the week. We might be sort of pulled back into relationships, looking at things that are more in the past, maybe looking back to past relationships or past times in relationships, maybe being a little bit too concerned with the formal aspects of relationship and not so concerned with the more heart aspects of it. It's Venus on the south node. So that can sort of pull us into the more, The South Node in Capricorn can be about formalities and procedures and so on. So we might start the week sort of looking backwards, sort of looking in the rearview mirror. But if relationships have been under pressure, when we get to midweek and we've got this sort of upbeat Sagittarius moon, last quarter moon making decisions, and then Venus goes on to square Uranus, well, that really looks to me like, if relationships have been under pressure, something's got to give. That's kind of the energy of the middle of the week, and really I would say going out onto the weekend, is that if things are not in a good place, could be the end of things. If things are in a good place, it could be a time to really change things up and just kind of go with it. The pressure that we've been under with relationships and finances too, the pressure needs an outlet, right? You can't continue doing the same thing if it's not working. And if it is working, you kind of want to vary things up and just add in a little bit of change. If you're in a relationship, you need to change things up a little bit. You could change things up a little bit for a couple of days at least. Try something new. If you're not in a relationship, maybe try someone new. It's a time of kind of breaking out of the box, stop the old patterns. If Wednesday is always Chinese food and watch a movie on TV night, go out for a change. If it's always we got to go out, stay in. Just sort of change things up a little bit. That's kind of the advice if things are going pretty well. It might also be a time, to tell you the truth, when we really just need a little bit of freedom. It might be kind of a little bit of like, I love you, but it's, I'm going to go do this thing and I'll see you back, here later on tonight. It could have that type of feel to it too. So it doesn't have to be that you're together and changing the patterns. It might be that you're doing things as an individual that feel good for you. That might represent something of a change. If you try to keep things in the box, though, when it comes to relationship, it could be kind of a hard week. This is an out-of-the-box type of energy. This is like the pressure's been building up. It's like a jack-in-the-box, and, the pressure's been building up, and by midweek, some little clown's going to be jumping out of the box there. So you want to not try to restrict that energy. You want to use it productively. Overall, as I said, it's a week that you want to bring things to a conclusion. It's a great week for cleaning things up, for clearing things up, for making decisions, for assessing the matter, taking the long view on things. Thursday, Friday, probably fairly productive, but again, it's not really time to begin anything new, so be productive at, cleaning out the closets or tidying up your desk or finishing that report that is supposed to be done, that type of thing. All right, don't forget to watch the March forecast on Thursday, Friday, something like that. Bye-bye.